Yo, guys, listen. There is something I came across on the social media, and I said I should react to it. It's in Luganda, but I'm gonna translate for you what these guys are saying.
This information si ya kulemesa, si ya kugamba nti togenda kuba omwana jagamba wabera wabinyo mulwaki mukyakola lwaki mukyaliyo.
So first of all, he goes around and says that this information is not against people's idea to come to US or go to Europe, go abroad to work, but remember, this information is gonna be sensitive to some of you. It's gonna be useful, but I don't agree with most of his narrative or most of his mind. Let's go on and listen.
Natamanya nti mu Bannayuganda 10 abali mu diaspora maybe omu yakomawo, kubanga mu Bannayuganda 10 abali mu diaspora omu yekka yasobola okulinya ne Kampala once a year.
Diaspora
ngangase yonna nti ayina obusobozi obusasula rent oba mortgage, car insurance n'agiteekawo, bw'aba ayina ne payment n'agiteekawo, buli kimu n'akireka nga kiri oseti. Then najja wano e Uganda ng'ayina ne ssente ezikola by'alina okukola, n'abakyakaza namu n'addayo, oyo ab'omu ku 10.
First of all, he's saying, he's giving an example from the Ugandan perspective that that 1 out of 10 among the Ugandans who live abroad, in any country, let's say Europe, let's say America, let's say Australia, 1 out of 10 is only one Ugandan who is able to come back home, come back to Uganda. That is from his narrative. So for me, I say that is wrong. Why do you think it's only 1% of the Ugandans who wanna come back? Who has the capacity to come back home? That is wrong. It cannot be 1 out of 10. It could be many Ugandans don't wanna come home. Many Ugandans, their home is abroad. For you, you're thinking, in your narrative, you're thinking that 1 out of 10. Why have you seriously brought out this on your mind that it's 1 out of 10? This is wrong. It cannot be 1 out of 10, because if you say 1 out of 10, what about those people who don't want to come home, whose home is USA, whose home is Europe? What about them? They don't want to come home. First of all, probably because of the situation already which is in Uganda, the poverty, and probably they were born here, they don't want to come home. What about them? What about that percentage? You're saying 1 out of 10 Ugandans, with only one who is able to come home. That's wrong. Let's continue and listen.
Kati omuntu yenna nga osobola okubala weebuze lwaki bali tebakomawo, lwaki bangi abagenda si nti kudda kukyala.
So he's again saying that ask yourself why most people who go, they don't come back to visit. So he's trying to say, his narrative is trying to put it in a way that coming back to visit. Man, not everyone wants to come back to visit. That's why I tell you, that's why I'm telling you that you're so wrong determining the reasons for people to why they don't come back and visit. A few of us, we want to come back because we just came to USA and we miss home. But you cannot, in your perspective, you cannot tell us that somebody who was born here wants to come and visit each year, every year. So you cannot determine that. You cannot determine that according to yourself. So you just put it in some other way but you cannot just determine that people have to be coming back to visit. Some of them, they don't want to come and visit. They have their own dreams.
Ogambye twagala tukube ekibalo kino oŋŋambye ku bannayuganda 10 abali mu diaspora oba oli Germany oba oli UK oba oli Canada oba oli China oba oba Japan oba America ku 10 wandibaako omu ayinza okudda e Uganda mu mwaka n'abeerawo omwezi gumu ng'akyakala ngwera omuntu ng'omusama bwe yandibadde wayinza okubeerako ku 10 kuyinza okubeerako omu kiva ku ki kati tujjewo n'ekyempapula.
Okay, now again he's talking about Ugandans. According to him, why Ugandans don't want to come back home, like don't want to come and visit and spend money. Man, I know from your perspective as an individual, you think Ugandans want to come. All Ugandans who come back home, they come to spend, to show off. Man, there are some Ugandans who come for particular reasons. Actually, let me take you back to the time of Ugandans wanting to invest back home. Ugandans usually send money and they find themselves in a scenario whereby people back home cheat them, steal their money. Instead of doing whatever they want, they do the opposite way. Like you want to build something and they will build something else because they want to cheat you, they want to steal your money. So this has been happening. Some Ugandans come home to do their stuff, to start their own businesses. So that's why even some Ugandans don't want to come, because they know there's nothing they're going to come to do. They don't have reason why they should come home. Let's continue now. He's giving his own reason why why Ugandans don't want to come back home and visit probably.
Okukigonza tugamba abalina empapula. Wenda kwesa America as an example.
Yes.
Average person abantu nga bakulu oyina omwana omu babiri tukwesewa abaana babiri.
Yes.
Ticket ya 1500 eze 10 ezi tutandikirawo 13 zina okusooka neziruma ez'abaana.
Ticket 1500.
Ntitugamba kuba abaana ogenda balekera
abaana babiri buli ticket ya 1500 abaana babiri 1300
gattako neyo omuntu omukulu nya bitano awo kubana oyina abaana babiri ogenda kwetagoleka ennyumba yo nga nsasule. Ennyumba ey'abaana babiri ekitone ennyo mu cities town states ezisinga 2500
eza dola.
Teeka wali.
Okay. Now according to him, he's saying, first of all, his first reason is, I would say I'm 50-50 with him. I agree with him because he's saying, first of all, the tickets are so expensive. Like for somebody abroad or in the diaspora to come home, to come back to Uganda, it tends to be expensive for them, and that is right. But why am I 50-50? It's right, but remember, people in diaspora, we tend to have our plans. So you cannot say you're coming home and you cannot plan for your journey. We tend to plan. We even book tickets 7 months before, 1 year before. It means the ticket will be even cheaper. It only applies for those who will book imminently. Like immediately you're booking, you want to travel like less than a month, it will be expensive for you. Me personally, I've traveled to Uganda in the past 2 years. I've traveled 3 times. 3 times to Uganda, and though the ticket was expensive, I managed to travel for my for my own reasons. So you cannot tell me people here don't have the capacity to travel home because the tickets are expensive. From your perspective, you're right, but from another perspective, you're so wrong, because you're leaving out people who plan for their journeys, people who book their journeys 10 months before or 7 months before. Even they take first class. You can imagine first class tickets are expensive. So from your perspective, you're saying it's expensive. Yes, it's expensive, but again, you cannot take away the fact that people plan for their journey. People plan, and people have money. People have money. Like for me, I've traveled 3 times back home in 2 years. Does it mean I have a lot of money? Guys, you're going to come to the reason later why I travel and I can afford this ticket and I can afford to come back home in 2 years. Let's go on.
Payment. Tugambe ya 15 teka wali oina insurance teka wali okitegera
ngangena tambula
ogena tambula bino byonna ino birekawo
tukubiremu ekibalo ekya
okitegera
otegererwa ky'abantu bajja
nti kati awo abantu abasinga ino lekawo omutwalo ogwa dola tannalowooza nakuzagenda spendinga Uganda omutwalo.
So from his perspective, he's saying we were abroad, let's say America, we have car insurance, we have to pay rent, we have to pay mortgage, we have a lot of expenditures. That is the second reason he's giving. That's the reason why we cannot come back home. That we have expenses which will make us stuck here. Like I cannot go because I have to pay these expenses. Once I leave, I might lose my house, I might lose my job, I might lose my car. That's why I have to stay here paying insurances, car insurance, life insurance, rent. So if I leave, I will not be able to pay. There I agree with him, but I agree 50-50 to his words, because yes, there is insurance, the rent is high, 2,500. Yes, it's a little bit, the rent is high. Like for example, Massachusetts, the rent is so high. We pay 2,100, 700. If you live alone, you might pay in your apartment. Like if you live together, bed space, you might pay something like 1,800. But remember, when you live together, that means if you combine the rent you're paying, like a group of people, you will pay something like 3,000. But when you divide it, you are able to pay individually like 700, 800. So you're sharing the rent. So he's right, it's expensive. And yes, there is mortgage. People are paying beyond 2,500 mortgage, and they can lose their houses if they don't pay in time. Same applies to the car. They are paying for the car insurances. Yes, they can lose their cars if they don't pay in time. And he's talking about that. I agree with him. But for me, I think from his side is somehow biased with life in diaspora. So from his perspective, is biased. That's what I can say. He's biased. He's just giving the negative side of things. He's not on the positive side of things. And from his perspective, he's like, this is what you have to believe. No, we cannot believe that, because it's not 100%. It's not even 60%, but it's like 20%, because people have money. People, what you think it's a barrier for others, for everyone, no. Most of us, it's not a barrier. Some of us are not even paying mortgage. Neither are we paying for our car. They are already paid off. People have paid off cars. So you can imagine, we are able to travel because maybe rent will be there, but we pay maybe rent in advance. So there is a particular areas you are wrong, my brother. So let's listen to him and we again comment on it.
Luma okukomawo nti so that bwakomawo ebintu byokubikola ki webiri ate oyo omuntu alina okubanga alina omulimu nga ebiseera ebisinga alimu obutendeke we yabasobola omwezi n'akomawo ng'omulimu ki weguli oba okitegeera kuba bw'ovaayo ne weegoba ojja kudda omulimu tegukola ki teguliiwo ate emirimu gyegiri naye tebakuwa mulimu ate kutekinga vacation baagala okole baagala kuwa vacation ya 2 days okitegeera baagala kuleka ku lwokuna nga ku mande okola ki okomawo bo bagamba omwezi ebya Africa tebabimanyi kati
so is saying that they cannot give you like a full month of vacation. Yes, they cannot give you a full month of vacation, but and is saying that if you cannot take, you can only take 2 days, 3 days. There you're wrong, my brother. You're wrong. People work for a full year and you think they can only take 2 days vacation. No, a full year they give you 1 month. You can get 1 month vacation, and some